baixinho quando estou sozinho, só te recordar. E mesmo distante sempre que pensei em cada momento que em ti passei. Mas se Deus quiser, sempre que eu puder, a ti voltarei. Eu sou imigrante e sempre sonhei com a minha terra que um dia deixei. E choro baixinho quando estou sozinho, só te recordar. Sei de lugar que o tempo não mudou.
E olha, meus caros amigos do YouTube, estamos aqui para fazer um programa com 3 títulos. Ainda não sei qual é o título que eu vou agarrar para o programa, mas vai começar com um programa que eu já fiz um episódio ou 2, que é Histórias de Imigrantes. Vamos falar a razão principal que estou aqui. Antes de eu apresentar a pessoa da casa onde estou, vamos falar de um livro, ou 2 que ela está a publicar, e tem outros ainda em mente para publicar. E em terceiro lugar vou, como ao meu tempo é pouco para fazer estes programas e a juntar tudo, vai-se fazer uma pequena homenagem a 2 irmãos gêmeos que emigraram para esta terra bem miúdos. E o livro que a filha de um vai falar sobre essa história, por isso é que eu vou usar a história de imigrantes, e o livro vai dizer tudo em si. E, portanto, vamos falar sobre isso, sobre a história deles, os 2 irmãos que vieram para esta terra atrás de um sonho. E depois a pessoa que publicou o livro e escreveu o livro vai falar, portanto, depois de eu apresentar, e depois no fim eu vou dizer, ela vai dizer como é que vão conseguir o livro ou mais livros que ela tem, que muita gente talvez não saiba. Fica connosco, eu não tenho cameraman hoje, minha esposa hoje não se sentia bem, eu vou fazer aqui um corte e vou virar a máquina para a gente apresentar a pessoa que a gente está a falar, a autora deste livro. Bem, e agora é tempo de apresentar a pessoa que a gente está a falar e que escreveu o livro da história de imigrantes que a gente vai falar, e vocês agora talvez já a conhecem, que vem ser a filha do Joe Simões. Quem é que não conhece aqui na área especialmente titular o Joe e o Mário, que já faleceu, os irmãos gêmeos. Claro que a gente vai ter que falar com ela em inglês, desculpe o meu inglês ser fraco, mas ela é que vai agora falar mais e tem que ser na língua que ela se sente mais confortável, embora ela percebe, mas vai falar em inglês. Hi, and first of all I want to thank you to invite me at your house. We try to do this on Monday in Pismo, but we didn't have a chance. Actually, it was my fault. And I don't want to miss, again, this opportunity to come in here and do this. So thank you to letting me come in with my camera at your house. Okay? So you're going to present yourself for the people that doesn't know you. You're going to tell who you are, who was your parents and grandparents, and then we go from there, all right?
Okay, well, my name's Elaine Ribeiro. I'm the youngest daughter of Joe and Inez Samoys. My dad's parents, Isaias and Albertina and Olivia, Samoys from Terceta, Santa Barbara. My grandparents on my mom's side are Silvas. They're from Artesia, not born there. But their families are from Haming and El Taj, I believe.
Wow. Yeah, you did a lot of ground by knowing that. So we talk about Empismo, and I find out actually through your mom some months ago you were writing a book, and actually I looked, that book has already been published in January. So we're talking about this book, right? I'm going to put it here on the screen too, but if you want to hold it. And let's talk about what it was, the idea you come out. First of all, let me ask, you had this thing since many years ago to be a writer?
Never.
Because you have to know how to write, not just to come out with the history or whatever the subject you want to talk about in a book, but you
Right.
have to know what you're doing, right?
Right. So I did not know what I was doing, and I did not ever plan to write a book. What happened and how it came about, my husband and I went to a law office to finalize some paperwork for our trust and whatnot. And we're waiting in the waiting room, and there's some Portuguese lawyers that work there, so on their coffee table was a book about a man who immigrated from the Azores and became a lawyer. So it was a big book, so I'm just looking at the pictures, and the pictures are reminding me of pictures from the Azores and pictures of my dad growing up. And something just clicked in my head and thought, well, a lot of people know the Samoys family, but not a lot of people know the background of it and what they went through to get here. So I thought I should write a book about that. I felt like it was a greater power telling me this. So while I was still in the law office, I took a picture of the back cover, which had the publisher's name on it. My husband and I were actually on our way to Farmer of the Year presentation at the Ag Center. Before we even got to the Farmer of the Year celebration, my phone rang because I had emailed that publisher, and they called me and wanted to set up an interview to find out what my goals were and my reason for wanting to write this. And so that's how it came about. It was not planned at all. And it was kind of a scary thing to do, but one thing that the publishing company asked me was, are you doing this to make money? Are you doing this for personal reasons? And this book is 100% for personal reasons. If nobody read it but my dad and his siblings, I would be fine. And so, but I've gotten a lot of response from family who had no idea about the backstory, and so that, of course, was a bonus. Made me feel good that I did. I'm glad I did it. So
yes, and I'm glad too you did it, not just for your family, but for the community here, especially the Portuguese community, for the people and friends of your parents and your uncle Joe, because they did a lot for the community. And the reason I started doing my program, History of Immigrants, it's because of that. And it's something always I want to do with your parents and Joe. I just never have had the opportunity because it's one of those things I'm trying to catch with other people is getting old, and I want to do this until they are in their mind and doing, of course, doing this before they pass away. And one of the reasons I want to come here to talk about the book, just for you had a chance to talk a little bit about them in either the whole history will be here on the book. We'll tell later on this program, this video, how you can get this book. But back to this book, just explain a little bit of the beginning for the people to know the first chapter.
Okay.
The book is not too.
no, it's a very easy read.
Very
You can
easy
read it
to
in one
read.
sitting one day.
You're very easy to read.
And I intentionally made it large font because I know a lot of older people will be reading it. I myself need glasses, and so the larger font makes it an easy read. And I feel like especially people who are Portuguese or from the Azores, there's a lot of things in there that are familiar, which may not be to others. But first chapter is all about the Azore Islands, basically just describing where they're at, what type,
From
yes, their lifestyle, their prominent religion, their food, just basically about the islands, and actually encouraging people to go and see them because they're beautiful. And then it is chronological, talks about when my dad's parents were married, and then the kids came one after the other. And I don't want to give away the story.
Please, I was actually sorry. I was going to interrupt you. Don't do that. Just so, and then it's of course how they came here.
Yes,
You know, you can tell
chronologically how
they
they
came here in the age. Of course, they twins. They came here at the age of 7 years old.
They were
They were
9.
very young.
They were 9.
9.
And they're the oldest of 11 children.
Oh, they had 11.
There was 11.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. A lot of people,
No, that's a good thing. No, because a lot of people maybe I know they had more assemblies, but I didn't know it was 11. I thought like 4, 5, 6.
what was
The most.
interesting to me is some people who read the book said, well, I didn't know that was your dad's sister, or I didn't know that was your dad's brother. And it's like, yeah, I have 37 first cousins on my dad's side. So, yeah, back in the day when we were younger, getting together was a lot of fun. But we had to do it at a park because nobody had a big enough house. But so the book starts with the Azores, and the last chapter is about each sibling and what they're doing currently. And, yeah.
So you mentioned all the assemblies, the Simons,
Yes.
not just about your dad and Joe. They were twins.
And that was something I really focused on. This book is not about the twins. This book is
Okay.
about the Samois family and bringing my dad's mom to the forefront because, yeah, that was important to me, is to give my dad's mom life. Shed some light on her.
So now let's talk. Of course, you wrote this, and you had a company, of course, to publish. You know, it's not just people think it's easy to write a book, and now it's for sale or how you get it. So how you get the company to publish, and I already did some just today. I didn't have much time to know about it, but you already been known, I don't know if you know, but you already been known as being a writer of this book. I don't know if you know that, but it is already a little paragraph on the Amazon
Oh, really?
about you. But anyway.
So the publishing company I went
Publishing
through,
company.
the publishing company I went through is Amazon Publishing Company. And I found it on the back of the book I read at the law office. And that's pretty much how I found it. And being that Amazon is so familiar to so many people, I thought this would be perfect. And I'm not an author by trade. I don't even consider myself one now. But so I had the help of a ghostwriter who is a professional writer. So basically, I presented my story, and she helped me kind of format it, if you would. Yes.
Okay, so you did the story, you wrote the story yourself,
Yes.
and then you got some help to be able to format it and put it on the book.
So it was more chronologic. That was my struggle. Another big struggle was not all 11 siblings are alive anymore, and not all of them are as sharp mentally as they used to be. So it was tough to get some of the stories. My dad and his brother were very closed mouth about it. I thought they would be full of stories, but all that I really got from my dad was we had a good life, and my dad did as best as he could, and that was pretty much it. So it was something that I thought, oh, this book is bringing up deep feelings for them, and some were good feelings and some not so good. So I tread lightly. I didn't force anything. I was told at some points stories that then were said, but don't put that in the book. So it helped them to open up, which I appreciated, but I did have to be careful. One, not to say too much, and another, not to offend anybody. And I think what made it a little bit easier, and I think this is amazing, all of the siblings get along so well. And they would never say or do anything to offend each other. And so that was great. So I wanted to make sure I did the same.
As the assemblies, how many already passed away and how many still alive?
3 of them have passed away. Mary, she's the oldest sister. Johnny, he is the next brother after my dad and Uncle Mario. And then my Uncle Mario, he just passed away in April.
Mario is one of the assemblies he just passed away.
Yes.
So 3. So it's still alive? How many?
8.
8.
Yes.
Where areas they live here in the valley, all of them?
Let's see if I can, you're testing me. I'm going to look at their picture.
Testing you since I didn't know they had so many.
So this book does have pictures. There's one picture in every chapter, which kind of helps. And so my dad still lives in Tipton, and that's where he started when he was 9 years old. So he's still there. My Uncle Rico, he lives in Grover Beach, and he's still sharp as a tack and was a huge resource for a lot of my stories. It was actually, he said, therapeutic for him. And so it was a win-win for both of us. My Aunt Carol, she's in a home in Fresno. My Aunt Nevia lives in Tulare. She lives alone there. And my Aunt Zita lives in Northridge, and she's still full of life and keeps in touch with us. She'll come to Tulare, or she'll go to Pismo or whatever. My Aunt Olivia, she's in Tulare at Grand Oaks, which is like a senior assistant living. And then my Aunt Phyllis, she is in Hanford.
Wow.
All in California.
See, I know of course, your dad and Mario very well. I knew one of the sisters, I believe, is the one you said is in home now. I heard about you under your uncle Ricky, but like I said, I was counting about 5, 6. I didn't know it was 11 them. More reason, I'm going to now just say a little bit in Portuguese. Mais razão para vocês verem este livro, e vou dizer mais à frente, depois dela acabar, onde é que podem encontrar este livro. É fácil. Ele está em digital e está agora até bem barato no Amazon, por metade do preço em digital, e pode agarrar a hard copy, como se diz, o livro em si também, through the Amazon. A gente vai dar essa informação. Mas mais razão para ler, e peço desculpa que estava que era só mais sobre, portanto, os Simões que toda a gente conhece, dos irmãos gêmeos, mas é da família toda que veio, que são 11, portanto uma família de 13 que imigrou. What year they immigrated here to United States?
I believe it was 50, I think it was 54, mid-50s.
In the mid-50s.
A lot of dates in here, so, but yeah.
Was still they came already in a plane, right?
Yes.
Okay. But probably one, not the jet, the ones with the purple. It had to be, because there was no jet, just came in the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk now how we can get the book before we go to the journal, or what do you want to do?
So, the book is titled From Tragedy to Triumph, The Simoes Family Journey to a Dream. If you go on Amazon and put in the title or put in my name, it will pop up.
So both ways.
Yes, both ways. And it comes in hardbound, it comes in softbound, like a soft cover.
Let me just explain a little bit Portuguese, because I forget. O livro chama-se Da Tragédia ao Triunfo, da família Simon, a sua jornada para o seu sonho. Podem entrar, portanto, como eu estava a dizer, no Amazon do livro, então, Elaine Simon Ribeiro, que é ela. I was just going to read a little bit about you here. Okay. I'm going to translate in Portuguese, and then you can say it in English. How do you turn a loss into hope? How do you find a strength in life's hardest times? For the Simões family, it was their faith, love for each other, and the determination in giving up. Okay? Portanto, em poucas palavras, da tragédia que eles, portanto, tinham lá de ser uma família grande, emigrar para aqui com todo, e a sua fé e o amor da família, como acabou de dizer, fizeram eles todos ter sucesso aqui nesta the Elaine Simões, the author, the Elaine Simões Ribeiro, tells her family the story with heart and warmth. A picture of the beautiful Azores, full of traditions, the communities, while showing the sacrifices and the victories, and the immigrants chasing a better life. Em outras palavras, ela explicou aqui no livro a história da família, do coração, a fotografia que mostra os nossos Açores lindos e de uma tradição e das comunidades onde que eles tiverem os seus sacrifícios e vitórias de imigrantes que vieram para esta terra para ter uma vida melhor. Let's talk a little bit. You have another book here. It's something you also wrote. I don't know about that one.
That's just a picture book for my book launch party that we had here. We had all the siblings here, and they all got a copy, and I had all of my dad's siblings sign it for me. I'm trying to find that.
Okay.
And which was very special because 3 weeks after the book launch party, my Uncle Mario passed away. And so it was
So you still had a chance to do that with your Uncle Mario still alive.
Yes, so that was very special. So we have lots of pictures in this one about the book launch party. This
That was just for the family.
Yes.
It was
just for the
published in
siblings
March 22nd
and cousins.
of this year.
Yes.
Now, this is where you're going to use to the publication or advertising, we should say, about your book, right?
The Amazon Publishing Company uses this magazine as a marketing tactic to introduce new authors and also give an insight of what our future plans are. It does talk about this book a lot and what it's about, and then what I have coming, which is a children's book called Two Brothers, One Dream, and it talks about it in here. And then on the back, it has the QR code to order.
So I will. Eu vou botar isto também no screen. I'll post this on a screen. Again, it has the QR code how to get it. So you can get this too, and the book and this journal, or that's just for.
This magazine is presented on Instagram and Facebook, and it's an electronic. So
In digital too.
yes, digital, and so they sent me a hard copy for myself, and but it is available digitally online through Facebook and Instagram.
Como podem ver, aqui no canto já está um dos seus livros, The Best Sellers, e aquilo que ela escreve. E a gente também vai falar agora sobre um pouco um livro que ela tem, que está a ser publicado, mas ainda não está acabado, quer dizer, está acabado de ser publicado, não sei se vai estar ao público, que é um livro também da história, então, só dos dois irmãos, o Mário e o Joe, mas é um livro para crianças, que ela teve-me a mostrar ali um pouco, um livro muito pequeno, teve-me a mostrar aqui no computador, ela vai falar sobre isso, um livro com, portanto, imagens em cartoons, como a gente diz, e explica a história dos dois irmãos por um sonho. Let's talk about the children's book it is actually gonna be published this week, right?
Yes, it just came out this week. It's also available on Amazon, but it's also available on BarnesandNobles.com. I'm waiting to find out if it will be available in the Barnes and Noble store. But as for now, it is on their website, and I looked it up, and it's there.
It's there already?
It is there already. Writing a children's book was also not something I planned on doing. One of my friends who read this book called me up and was very kind and just loved the book. And she said, "You need to do a children's book." And I said, "About what?" Because it's hard to put this story for a children's book. She's like, "I don't know, you just need to do something." I said, "I really wish you wouldn't have said that, because now my wheels are turning. And I never thought So I just sat down in my office one day and just thought, how can I compact this story into something inspirational? And what I mean by inspirational is that immigrating has such a negative light on it right now. And I just wanted to show that it is possible to immigrate to another country and have the opportunities and your dreams come true. I'm sure my dad and his siblings never thought that when they came here that they would have the opportunities that they did. Of course, it takes hard work, and that you have to work at it, and they did, and so I just want to shine that light, encourage others to do the same. So, sat there and wrote the children's book. My daughter was a first grade teacher for 6 years, so I presented it to her, and I said, "What do you think about this?" And she said, "I love it. You have to do it." So that's what I did.
That's what you did. And just by looking at the pictures and the pages, it's a very small book, you know, of course, more in very big fonts for the kids who read it. And it can be whether any age is able to read.
Well, I self-published that one, so I wrote it and sent it to a publishing company that specializes in children's book. It's called Author House. They read it and then they reviewed it, and they said it's for ages up to 10. I guess it doesn't really matter, but that was their review, and that it was to inspire kids to follow their dreams, especially those who may not feel like they have that opportunity. So it is around my dad and Uncle Mario. They're kind of the focus, and their pictures on the back cover when they were in the Azores, and then not currently, but grown. But it's a very brief story about how they came from the Azores. Yeah.
Well, we're going to do a little bit of break here, and then we're going to come back. The last section of this video, we're going to talk just besides of the book. I want to know more her. I want to know more about this family and we talk about what inspired her to write this book. And we're going to talk a little bit more what the future deals her to write more books. So, ficam connosco e a gente já volta num momento.
Em lugar que tempo não mesmo mar. E quantas vezes tentou sem teu lugar que foi feito para mim e me fez sentir assim quando a saudade chegou. Tudo que sou devo à terra onde nasci, que me ensinou o que na vida aprendi. Se agora estou longe dela por escolha, mudarei no rio a folha e voltarei para ti. Eu sou imigrante e sempre sonhei com a minha terra que um dia deixei. E choro baixinho quando estou sozinho, só de recordar. E mesmo distante sempre que pensei em cada momento que aqui passei. Mas se Deus quiser, sempre que eu puder, a ti voltarei.
Bem, caros amigos, estamos de volta e a razão que eu quis tirar um break, porque queria fazer o teste ao som se estava um pouco melhor sem a buffer, como eu posso ver que aqui está, que não é preciso, não tem vento, sol, ainda é preciso a cover aqui. A outra coisa é que eu tinha uma pergunta, mas não queria que fosse a gravar e sem saber o que é que eu ia perguntar se estava a dar certo, mas uma coisa que estava na minha cabeça e também vocês, quando virem o livro, vão perguntar. Só ela vai dizer, eu estou-me a referir à fotografia que tem aqui na cover do livro, ela vai dizer, portanto, estas pessoas quem são, mas a história, por isso é que o livro se chama De Tragédia a Triunfo, porque uma das pessoas morreu bem nova e ele ficou, portanto, o avô sozinho com 8 filhos e depois a outra pessoa vem, portanto, em assistência e é que vem para a fotografia. Mas mais interessante para vocês lerem a história deste livro, que eu não sabia, e ela disse também que não sabia, a falar com os tios, a que veio a descobrir, porque naquele tempo não se falava as famílias, os pais e os filhos das coisas, das tragédias e coisas, portanto, que acontecem na vida, e depois tudo porque é que ter uma explicação. Só, ela não vai explicar nada, portanto, ela vai só dizer em inglês o mesmo que estou a dizer, mas está tudo aqui no livro, que é mais interessante para vocês lerem este livro. Elaine, I was just saying in Portuguese, if you didn't understand, but I know you understand a little bit, was my question was, that's why before we stopped to the break, why the picture has your grandpa, of course, one of your grandma, but your grandpa with 2 women. Okay. So don't explain the whole story. That's for them to read. I already told them that. But who this other, I mean, where these 2 women are?
So, of course, my grandfather's in the center, and these 2 women are sisters, and one is my grandmother and one is my great aunt. And I purposely used this picture. I've had it on my shelf for as long as I can remember. But it's a very intriguing picture. It's a conversation piece.
That's the whole main, yes, conversation piece for the book. And after you read the book, of course, you're going to understand. And even it can be a little confused still, but you're going to understand why the picture is the grandpa with the 2 sisters. Okay, now to finalize, you wanted mention as how I should ask this, if you want to talk about more of course, you're proud not just of your parents, the whole Simões family. And how long it took you to put all this together?
It took probably about a year.
Oh, actually, it was faster than I thought.
Yeah. I felt like time was of the essence because, like I'd mentioned before, not all of them had the capacity to give me the information that I needed. And originally, it was just going to be a memoir to give to my kids and to my grandkids and share with my dad's siblings, and it just got a little bit bigger than that as we continued on. And so, I mentioned having my children's book published this week. I don't anticipate any more books unless a friend of mine gives me some idea that I can't get out of my head. But for now, I would love to do a story on my mom's parents. They were amazing grandparents. But this one was really intriguing because of the tragedy, and you'll know what that is when you read it, and their triumph. And I just wanted to inspire people to do the same. So who knows what's coming.
So, in other words, you will inspire more people to investigate about their past, their backgrounds,
I learned so
because
much.
it will be a lot of stories like this. And if you were not done this to write this book, you never knew all that background, what it was behind, just besides a big family immigrated to United States.
Right. I learned so much writing this book, and I loved listening to their stories, and it explained a lot to me. And so I just wanted to share that with the family, and to anybody who knows the family, it's very interesting. So.
Well, we're gonna finalize here this video. I just gonna remind you can get this from Amazon. You can get a digital copy. Actually, it's now in special for $5.99. You can download it, the digital copy. I just check, and you can have. It's also on sale a hard copy of the book. Send it to you for $19.99. It's amazing story. I didn't read the book already. Just by talking about this a little bit, amazes me. I hope you feel the same. And the reason, before I finalize in Portuguese, the reason I do this, this program called History of Immigrants, and on this case also covered, an author did a beautiful book, not just because it's a beautiful story, it's a true story, from her to find out her background, her family, and everything where, it is on this book to know about it. And I'm pretty sure there's more families with stories like that. If you want to have also your story, Histórias de Imigrantes, I will put my contact here. Already offer, you're welcome to. Like I said, it's not to know about your life, how good you are in business, and doesn't matter you're poor, you're rich. All I like is the history and to know about this. E agora vou finalizar em português. A gente vai acabar este vídeo aqui, mas só antes de acabar eu quero também dizer que isto, além de ser uma história de imigrantes que vai ser explicada no livro, não foi explicada como é costume que às vezes eu faço, a história para ser bem traduzida está no livro. Refiro-me só que ela diz que tem ali, portanto, como se diz, coisas de tragédia, coisas tristes, coisas que famílias passam e que muita gente não imagina. Por isso, a que me dá gosto é deixar saber histórias destas, mas que neste caso vocês têm que ler o livro. Podem ir ao Amazon e o livro está lá em digital, fazem o download, está bem barato, e se querem uma hard copy também está lá para fazerem a ordem. E vou fazerem a ordem ao livro. Ela diz não é por causa do dinheiro, que eles dizem não foi isso, não é isso a ideia, tornou-se mais um sucesso sem ela esperar, mas ela quer deixar saber, pronto, mais à sua família, o que é que esta família passou de uma tragédia para chegar ao triunfo, ao sucesso, e para deixar saber, portanto, fica aqui mais uma história de imigrantes que não foi nada fácil, especialmente para esta família. Espero que todos tenham uma oportunidade de ler o livro, deixam saber, se, portanto, ficaram a saber e se gostaram da ideia de eu apresentar isto aqui no canal, e para depois, se lerem o livro, também podem botar os comentários a esse respeito. Termino aqui o programa, dedico este programa, portanto, não só por ser a história de imigrantes, é deixar a saber que tem uma futura autora aqui, portanto, uma escritora para escrever mais livros. Ela diz que não é a sua ideia, mas se aparecer mais uma história, ela diz que queria fazer mais também de sua mãe, ou um dos seus tios, porque todos, depois individual, todos têm a sua história. E também, da minha parte, não conhecia a família Simões toda, mas deixo aqui saber que conheço bem os irmãos gêmeos, o Joe e o Mário. Falámos que ela deixou saber que tinha feito este livro. Mas eu queria dizer com isso que o Joe e o Mário já conheço há muito ano, são primos do meu cunhado, Afonso Lemos, são, claro, que naturais de Santa Bárbara, e primos, não sei se agora se é pelo lado do pai ou da mãe do meu cunhado, e por isso é que eu já os conheço há anos. E eu faço este vídeo também dedicado à memória do seu tio, Joe Simões, e em honor, homenagem ao que ainda está vivo, ao Joe Simões e à sua esposa Inês. Até uma próxima, que a gente se veja ou num programa assim, no meu canal, ou em pessoa, em qualquer lugar onde eu esteja, venham falar comigo e dizer um alô. Assim seja.
Tudo que eu sou deve à terra onde nasci, que me ensinou o que na vida aprendi. Se agora estou longe dela por escolha, mudarei o livro à folha e voltarei para ti. Eu sou imigrante e sempre sonhei com a minha terra que um dia deixei, e choro baixinho quando estou sozinho, só te recordar. E mesmo distante sempre em ti pensei, em cada momento que em ti passei. Mas se Deus quiser, sempre que eu puder, eu sou imigrante e sempre sonhei com a minha terra que um dia deixei, e choro baixinho quando estou sozinho, só te recordar. E mesmo distante sempre em ti pensei, em cada momento que em ti passei. Mas se Deus quiser, sempre que eu puder, a ti voltarei. Eu sou imigrante e sempre sonhei com a minha terra que um dia deixei, e baixinho quando estou sozinho. Só te recordo